Welcome everybody to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge.
Hey,
I'm Alex. Addie is testing out technology and making sure that technology is technology.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Addie, has
I
it?
love refrigerators.
Yes. Good, nice,
That
quality refrigerators.
Yeah, refrigerators are the best, man.
do y'all even know what I'm referencing with that?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna
But
assume the
refrigerators keep
Xbox
my milk
sex.
cold, so they're a-okay in my book.
And I love refrigerators is an older meme where a guy, this Asian dude, was running like an electronics business or what something like that, like a home appliances business, and his advertisements were just him walking to a section of the store and saying, "I love blank." So, like into the refrigerator sections, advertisement was he walks up to a refrigerator, he puts his hand in it, and he says, "I love refrigerators."
I like it.
I love dishwashers, you know.
Remember Sears? Didn't
I
they
mean,
go out of
like,
business?
not yet,
I,
close to it.
I would be shocked if they haven't. I thought that they were one of the ones that did go out.
No, they're hanging on onto the rich like old women market. They are those are the people that keep them alive, but barely.
You know that booming market, rich old women. Oh man. And Pink is here as well. Hey.
Hey there.
I
I love
didn't.
refrigerators too.
You do love refrigerators.
Yeah, man.
I gotta say, I don't love refrigerators. I wish my food would just rot and we'd all die of starvation.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes,
that'd be
the
pretty
old
cool
way.
too.
Or we have to find a pile of ice and just keep our steaks there.
Yeah.
Alright. So, I should go ahead and say that I did mow the lawn a couple days ago and it's been freezing at nights. So, I don't know if it's allergies or if I'm just sick from it being cold so damn much. But I am making all kinds of delightful noises over here, sniffling and hawking and spitting and all kinds of things.
Ah,
So,
you poor soul.
yeah, and the great thing is, you guys aren't going to, Addie you, and Pink, you two are not going to be able to hear it because Discord has a really strong noise canceling feature. So it's going to cut all that shit out. But OBS is picking it up just fine.
Nice. Uh, I was going to say, oh right, yeah. I actually learned why one of my nostrils is always clogged. By the way, turns out it's a medical thing. Great.
Oh,
You know the part that people cut out and then you get ice cream after. Yeah, I never had that.
oh,
That's still in.
it's a tonsils thing. Okay.
Yeah,
Ah,
that part of me has not been severed yet. So that's the reason probably.
Some people that so I it weirds me out that some people do not get that at all. There are some people who just that never happens. Like they'll never have a nostril close. My dad is one of them. It's weird because like I mentioned to him, oh, did you know some people don't have that? And my dad was like, I didn't know some people had that. What do you mean your nostril closes? Fun fact: the nostril closes much in the same way that the penis enlarges.
oh,
Ah,
The
I had
same
no idea.
same biological mechanism or something like that.
Weird.
Humans are weird. We should dissect them to figure them out.
That's a good
turns
idea.
turns out if you just happen to lose your dick, you can use your nose instead.
Yeah, that's how it works. I'm
That,
sure
that
that I'm,
explains a lot.
I'm sure that's
just
how
turn it,
Triple H and
just,
Stephanie do it.
just turn it, just turn it inside out.
Your nose? How's that
Yeah.
possible?
I don't know. I feel like Stephanie likes it better the normal way. I don't know why, but there's just something that amuses me about the idea of those two going to the bedroom and Triple H just dives in face first. He has like a diving board and everything. But he doesn't go fully in. No, it's just the nose. So he kind of sticks like a dart on a dartboard, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay, alright. Yo, Pink, You doing anything on your channel this week?
Not this week. I worked all week last week, and I'm going to be working all week this week. So I might be recording after we get the podcast done, depending on what time we get done at. But aside from that, I don't expect anything.
Oh boy, the holiday season in retail, huh?
Oh yeah.
Addy, you been doing anything this last week?
No.
Okay.
I had Matt Hardy break into my house and freaking wipe my PS4 save files.
Ooh, that's what's going up on your channel this week. Hey guys, I'm gonna delete all my PS4 save files on recording for views.
No, that's not going up on my channel. That's going up on Matt Hardy's channel.
Ah, I see.
I broke into this random Hungarian dude's house and I'm deleting all of his save files. Prank.
Epic
Well, I must
prank.
admit, I'd probably watch that.
Epic prank, bro. And Addy just bust out a knife. It's just a prank. It's just a prank.
I slide into frame. Brother Frank, I knew you'd come.
You make it sound like you're doing a fucking raging demon.
I mean, maybe.
And you said brother, and I just thought of Hulk Hogan. So now I'm thinking of Hulk Hogan doing the raging demon, and now my brain can't work.
Oh no! I thought. Oh, that was a bit.
That's what happened to anyone in the '80s who asked for a push from WWE. Is just Hogan raging demoning into frame.
But would Hogan call his raging demon the raging sausage?
Raging sausage. Well, instead of saying
anyway.
Masatsu at the end, he just says, like, what, America?
He says sausage.
Sausage.
Yeah.
Sausage. Shit. Yeah. Alright, so, you've lost all your save files on PS4. That sounds like a delight.
Well, like 98% of them.
Oh, okay.
Yukiden remains, and so does a couple of other games, but like none of the ones that I've bought like this year.
Ooh.
So
how's that Ghost of Tsushima New Game Plus rolling?
I'm thinking about doing a freaking recorded playthrough at this point, and then I'll just go with that save file.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, hey, the chance arose. Might as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Sometimes things just work out. And sometimes
Thanks for
they
the
don't.
advice, Kratos.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. So, Pink, what you been doing this past week other than working?
Other than working, I finished season 2 of Cobra Kai.
Alright.
I had high praise for it last week, and I will remain with my high praise for it this week. Very good show. I had no idea there was so much Karate Kid lore. I didn't even know there was a second and third movie, but apparently there is.
Oh, shit, do they bring in, the chick from the third one? Oh, shit, what's her name? The girl from, $1 Million Baby Girl. Oh, Hilary Swank. Do they bring in Hilary Swank?
No,
Oh.
not yet anyway. Who knows what they've got planned down the line.
She's there for the final season.
Yeah, probably.
The doors just open and you see Hilary Swank's back and she turns around slowly. A title card appears, The Final Karate Kid. Oh, man.
Speaking of the Raging Demon, she slides it as Raging Demons to freaking whoever the guy was from the first movie.
It's the killer one, too. He's actually dead. Hilary Swank is the new villain. She punches a hole in his heart.
She succumbed to the Dark Shadow.
Oh, no. So anyways, season 2. My understanding, season 1 of Cobra Kai is about, hey, here's the bad guy from the movies, but now he's a good guy trying to teach a new lot of kids. He's the new Mr. Miyagi. Does season 2, try to change the concept very much, or is it still running with basically the same concept?
It's got a different concept, but it's still sort of the same, because in the second season, there becomes a power struggle where we've got, blanking on his name again, Johnny, villain from the first movie. His sensei comes back and he's kind of trying to manipulate his way into taking over Cobra Kai.
Okay.
So that is basically the running plot for the second season. So yeah, it diverts its attention a little bit from the making Johnny Mr. Miyagi.
Huh, okay. How important are the kids to the show?
They are very central to the show. They're just as much a large aspect of the show as Johnny is. So yeah, it's about a 50-50 split between the two.
Huh, okay. So does the old master kind of replace... Oh, shit. The first Karate Kid, does he kind of replace him as the villain of this of the series during the second season?
Yes.
Okay. Does it seem like the show is kind of going for a structure of a different villain every season?
Yes and no. This is the first season kind of makes you think they're going one way, and then it changes things up about midway through, so there isn't really a villain in that season.
Ah, okay.
The second season, it seems they start off and you're not really certain what way they're going for it. Then they go full blown. Here's our villain, and here's our next plot line going forward.
Okay.
With the third season, they can't really bring in a second villain yet. They would have to do something with this other villain that they've just introduced because
The problem
it
has
ends
not
on
been solved yet.
yeah. Our current antagonist has not been solved, so he's going to be sticking around probably for a little while.
Oh, there we go. That got picked up on mic real bad. Okay. Would you say that season 2, would you say that you feel better about season 2? About the same or a little worse?
It's hard to say. I really, really liked season 1. I think season 2 ends in a very, very different way. The stakes are all raised in season 2. It's like you've got your typical karate tournament in season 1. Then season 2, it just goes all out, and it's really, if you sit back and think about it, it's the dumbest show because none of this would actually be able to take place in the real world without like some sort of involvement by law enforcement or lawyers or something like that. Because it's, just a bunch of kids beating the crap out of each other. But aside from the fact that it's not particularly realistic, season 2 raises all the stakes, all the nonsense of the show. Well, not really nonsense. That's not the proper word. It doesn't end with a karate tournament or anything else. It's taking place very much in a more real world setting.
So it's less about, like, say, the professional thing of, like, who is the better at karate, and it's now getting into
less about who's a better professional karate team. It has become more of a gang war in a school between karate dojos.
Which, of course, was a lot more common and acceptable in the 80s than it is now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Those just were running rampant in the 80s. Pretty sure my mom was in a karate clan dojo thing.
Yeah.
Terrorize all her classmates.
Anyways, what was I going to say? Is there any, like, particular highlight you really want to point out for season 2 that did not apply to season 1?
That did not apply to season 1. There's highlights. I don't think there's any real highlight because mostly it's just everything they did in season 1 they did a little bit better, and sometimes worse in season 2. It's like all the characters were very good in season 1, they're still very good in season 2. One of the main characters is Daniel LaRusso's daughter, who kind of plays I don't know, I guess primary protagonist in a way, but not really. More of a deuteragonist.
Yeah, with Johnny.
with Robbie, Johnny's son.
Ah, okay.
Season 2 kind of
Shifts
puts
focus more
Johnny
towards the
in the
kids than the
corner.
adults.
Yeah, it focuses more on the kids in the second season.
Okay.
And it puts Johnny more so in a corner because he's already done his thing for season 1. Now it's season 2 is very much Daniel trying to start his own dojo to get even with Cobra Kai in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel's dojo consists of his daughter and Johnny's son, Robbie. So it's Daniel, Samantha, Sam. Yeah, that's right. Daniel, Sam, and Robbie for Miyagi-Do. So those are really the 3 main characters of season 2.
I assume Daniel becomes more sympathetic in season 2 if he's named his new dojo after Mr. Miyagi.
Yes. I was saying earlier, it kind of takes a turn at the halfway point of season 1, and yeah, they kind of turn away from the, oh yeah, Daniel's kind of this jerk now, to, oh wait, he's actually kind of, he's still the good guy. He's still got his reasons for all the things he does. So,
Johnny is there kind of like a Johnny brings him back down to earth moment?
Yeah.
All right. Would you? Well, hang on. I got one more question. Is season 3 already out?
No, it's coming out January of 2021.
These streamed shows, they take forever to get their seasons done. It's weird.
Yeah, you also have to take into account that
COVID.
Yeah, COVID, and it got dropped from YouTube Prime and then had to find a new home over on Netflix. And I'm not sure what that process was. I think it got dropped from YouTube as they were filming season 3. So they probably had to stop production on that, figure out what they were going forward with, where they were going forward with, and then restart from there.
I'm sure they're a lot happier at their new home.
Oh, they'd have to be. You'd have to be stupid not to be.
Yeah.
They seem to be doing well for themselves. Like the minute they debuted on Netflix, they've remained in the top 10 for a couple months now.
All right.
Yeah. It's like Cobra Kai, a very good show. It's very over with the common folk now. And it has everything to do with the platform it's available on.
YouTube.
Nobody uses YouTube Prime.
I think it is so little used that you're getting the name wrong. Because isn't it
that might be.
Isn't it YouTube Red?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Ah, fuck it. Who cares?
The only reason I know that it's YouTube Red is because I had a 1-month subscription to it because YouTube launched a music service, and I was like, well, I guess I'll try it out for free, and I did. It's a service.
You tried Gold Star.
Yeah. I mean, it just links you to like unlisted videos of the freaking songs.
Great.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, also, by the way, if you make a YouTube Music, which kind of works as like a separate site. If you make a playlist on YouTube Music, that's actually not a playlist on YouTube Music. That's just a playlist on YouTube. So, hey, if you don't want people seeing what music you listen to, then you better make that private.
Yep.
And that's also a freaking loophole, because if you add a bunch of like YouTube quality music to your freaking playlist, and then you lose your subscription, you can still access those songs through the YouTube Music playlist you made.
Yeah.
What the heck?
And not even getting into how a lot of the YouTube music just isn't very high quality.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I mean, no stream music is particularly high quality because it has to reach you, but yeah.
Yes. I mean, obviously the best is always going to be like, is CD or vinyl better? I can't remember.
I think Blimey, I forget. I think like untouched vanilla is better overall.
Okay.
The best is like non-mastered FLAC, I think.
I don't know what that is.
It's
Neither do
a
I.
it's a lossless audio file type.
Ah, okay.
I have worked enough in amateur audio engineering to freaking pick some stuff up, but I haven't been blessed by audiophile years, so I can't tell the difference between an MP3 and a lossless flex or whatever.
When are we gonna put some of the old podcasts on vinyl?
That is a question.
Well, it depends on when they'll open a vinyl factory near me.
Oh yeah. Hey, we want to license 10 copies of this. 1 for me, 9 for the highest bidders.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, we take all of the ones we've made up to that point, and we make one copy for each of us, and it's a commemorative thing. we just have like freaking 5 million vinyls of us talking.
Yeah, that way I can die and my grandkids will be like, what the fuck is this? And they give it to Goodwill.
Yeah. That's how we market our podcast.
Yeah, 100 years later, when some asshole picks it up at Goodwill and is like, what is this? All of us are dead. Well, maybe Addie's geriatric at that point.
Nah,
Pink, you're going first. I think we can all agree. You got like 2 or 4 years on us, so you're going first.
I got 2 or 4 years in you, and I'm really stupid, so I'm gonna cause my own death in maybe a decade at most, or at least.
I don't know. My body has been trying to kill itself for as long as I've lived. So.
Oh Christ! If I make it, then we're up shit creek. But hey, if the means of immortality do present themselves, I'm taking that shit.
The means of immortality.
I gotta say, that's one thing that always bugged me in movies and cartoons. When they're like, oh, who wants to be immortal? Oh, that'd suck to live forever. Bullshit! Fucking bullshit!
Yeah, I spend a lot, like, I spend some time every week just looking at, like, freaking summary, things for, like, old years. Like, just what happened in 1951, I wonder. And then I just read through what happened then. And like I've realized, really, my life goal is to become Dr. Manhattan so I can be everywhere at any time.
I'll settle for Vandal Savage. People will be asking, oh, what happened back in 2025? Oh, let me tell you, fucker, I was there. Shit, doesn't Vandal Savage got to eat people to maintain his immortality, though?
Probably.
It was something like that. It was something real weird, like he has to eat his own children to maintain his own immortality.
What the heck?
Yeah, something like that.
Put some real pressure on him to make babies.
Yeah. I don't think Vandal Savage minds, though.
I wouldn't.
We want to be Ra's al Ghul so we can have loads of ninjas and just take a bath to remain immortal.
Yeah, there's an upside there. You ain't gotta eat people, but there's also a downside there. Every time you go swimming, you become a little bit crazier.
No, there is a downside there because every time you take a bath to remain immortal, it cuts into your Smash training time.
Oh man. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, Pink, did you do anything else other than watch Cobra Kai?
Other than that, I actually started Mario 64.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have you murdered any innocent baby penguins?
Not yet, but it's gonna happen. Trust me. So.
Trust me.
Yeah. What I had no idea was that Mario can actually attack things in Mario 64.
Yeah, can't he just punch things in the face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing it, and I was like, hey, these are all his moves from Melee.
Ha!
Literally. He's got the little spin-a-rooney attack. He's got the same basic combos. It's wild. I had no idea that they had implemented that into Mario 64. And haven't implemented it in any other 3D Mario game since. What the heck, Nintendo?
Yeah,
I want to punch things.
It was too violent.
It's weird playing Mario in Smash because he does not behave like that in any other Mario game.
Right.
With that said, it's really funny after years of Mario stepping on people's heads and like it almost kind of looking like an accident that Mario kills them. It's really funny in that game to watch Mario just run up and sock a Koopa in the face.
Yeah. just wait until Pink finds out that you can Blanca Ball in Mario 64.
Look, I won't be impressed by Blanca balls, but if Mario does Shout of the Earth, then I'm done.
The Shadow of the Earth is a Getsu specific move that he can do.
Of course it is. So Mario 64, I'm curious about Mario 64 because it's like the original 3D platformer, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Does Mario pick up new moves throughout that game, or is that just a thing for later Mario 3D games?
That would probably be a thing for later Mario 3D games.
Well,
Seems-
it depends. It depends. Because you don't pick up new moves, but you do pick up new hats. 2 of them.
Oh, the wing hat, right? I do remember seeing the wing hat.
Okay, 3 of them. There's the wing cap, there's the... Oh, I forget the name of it. There's the thing that just makes him able to clip through walls. And then there's
What?
metal cap. Yeah, one of the caps that you can find in the sewers or the sewer type area that's under the castle is this cap that makes it so you can clip through walls.
Oh.
I have to imagine there are limits.
Yes, it's specific walls, but still.
He just enables no clip with that cap
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Mario just walks into the sun and... Goodbye! Bowser's like, I don't know where the hell Mario went. I don't even know what's happening. Why is the sun coming closer? Oh, but... Okay, so Mario 64, how's just the platforming? That's the most important thing. How is the platforming?
It's decent. Thing I've noticed is that 64 controls very slippery. It's like there's no traction whatsoever. You push forward, you'll go forward. If you try to immediately go backward, you're gonna slide just a little bit all over the place. So I imagine in very tight platforming areas, it's gonna be a real beast to get through. But for the most part, it operates fine.
All right.
Yeah. Not bad for the first 3D platformer ever.
Just so you know, Pink, they're not ice levels.
Oh, ice! How's ice? I already feel so slippery. Ice is gonna be just the worst. I'm not looking forward to that.
So how many BLJs have you done yet?
How many what?
BLJ. Backwards long jump.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were going to go for the blowjob joke or not.
I've never done a backward long jump in my life. So I wouldn't even know the first step to doing such a feat.
You know the staircase that blocks you from proceeding forward in Peach's castle?
Yeah.
There's a speedrunning trick where if you mash jumping backwards with your back to the stairs, Mario will ascend the stairs at super speed, which allows you to skip most of the game. It's one of the most infamous speedrunning exploits of all time.
Oh, they probably patched that out for the 3D All-Stars, though.
Oh, you know what? I do remember hearing that they were wanting to patch out the speedrunning stuff.
Yeah.
I do remember confirmation that they have patched out the BLJ specifically, so...
Oh,
Well, not the whole move, but that specific stair glitch is out. It's not in Pink's super special only until March 31st game. Every copy of Super Mario 64 is personalized, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. This has my name on it and everything.
Yeah, it did. And once you save Peach, her moves will be out.
Oh, incentive.
I gotta sneeze.
Yeah, the Bowser is actually the representative of the bless you.
Thank you.
Bowser is a representative of Oh, bloody hell! I forget the ratings people. ASRB are they?
ESRB, yeah.
Oh, ESRB. Yeah. Bowser's just a representative for ESRB. He's here to cover up Peach so that the game can be released for kids.
But then Mario goes behind him and throws him. So long, Gay Bowser. So that way Peach's boobs are out for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, man. Are there not like 3 Bowser boss fights in that game that all run on that same mechanic of just run behind Bowser and throw him from his tail?
Yeah. And Pink, you remember the Big Bob-omb fight? Or the King Bob-omb fight? Yeah, the Bowser fights are more or less just that. Only instead of being able to move around with him, you just spin. You spin.
You spin.
Okay, I think it sounds like Addy is effectively hypnotized Pink. Just say spin, it's that easy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, overall, what do you think about Mario 64 so far?
Pretty good. Not as good as Sunshine, but not bad.
Not as good as the game that came like 10 years later.
Yeah.
There's no flood there. And
well,
how
for
can
a
you...
first try, it's all right.
How
I think it's pretty interesting how... Well, actually, Sunshine does the same thing, and I think Galaxy does as well, but all the levels... No, what's interesting about this is that all the levels occur in the same location at what feels like the same time, because I'll do the first level, and there'll be the objective of... You can also, in addition to throwing the Bob-omb around, you could collect 8 red coins and get a star. You could collect 100 coins and get a star. You can also ground pound a little peg in the ground to unleash a chain chomp who will smash into a gate and give you a star, which is exactly what I did on my first playthrough. My first run, not knowing what I was doing. I was like, oh, hey, here's a free star. And apparently that is level 6 of World 1. So... Yeah, about 5 minutes into the game, I completed level 6 of World 1 without completing anything else, so that was pretty wild.
Well, the Super Mario 64 doesn't work off of worlds or levels. It has objectives and it has it has levels, but it also has objectives. And you completed objective 6 of level 1.
Right. So that's what's really interesting with this game, where you could theoretically complete any of the objectives, regardless of what quote-unquote level you're picking.
Here is a very small open world. Collect some shit and come back.
Yeah. Here's a small open world. Get stars. The end.
Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie kind of just ripped that.
I'll have to play that. I know I have it. I just haven't started it yet.
I didn't like Banjo-Kazooie. I prefer Super Mario 64.
They're very different games, that's for certain. For one thing, Banjo and Kazooie, you actually learn new moves over time. So there's a lot of moveset expansion.
But Pink, if you go back to Bomb on Battlefield, do try bomb clipping.
What is that?
You take a bomb, you pick them up, and then you go to where the grate is, where the chain chomp busts through the grate. You go to the grate, you turn your back to it, and then before the bomb blows up, you throw it so it blows you up, but it's not in your hands, and then you like go through the grates.
Oh. I mean, it would seem redundant to accomplish because I already have that star, but I will try it anyway.
There are also there are some speedrunning tricks where it's like, is it not easier to just do things the way you're supposed to do them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with this though is that you can use it in later levels as well, I think. But I forget.
Yeah, if you pick up a hand grenade and swallow it, it will detonate you and send you flying through the door. The alternative is to just open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like there would be a wide margin of error for the Bob-omb clip when you know it takes like 3 ground pounds on a little peg in order to unleash a chain chomp.
Yeah.
And it's not like the chain chomp is even that threatening, you know? It just kind of lumbers around and it's very easy to avoid.
All right. Anything else, Spank?
Anything? No, not really. Not that I can think of.
Have they released?
I watched Ghostbusters Ghostbusters the other day, but we've talked about that before. I like it. It's a good movie. I
Yeah.
don't remember what you said about it.
Have they released Steve for Smash yet?
No, they have not.
All right. Eddie, what you been up to this past week, man?
Jack shit.
Ooh, sounds like good jack shit. Elaborate.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've genuinely done nothing. I have, let's see. I don't think I did anything on in the first half of the week. Then in the second half, Matt Hardy broke into my house to get rid of all of my save files, and then I've just been,
And then you had to work to unlock being bad in Sengoku Basara.
yes, basically.
I see. No, nothing in particular you want to talk about?
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, I've been playing a lot of Tekken, but that's something we'll talk about regardless in a week.
The Tekken fighting games?
Yes, the Tekkens.
Tokans. Toucan
Yeah, the
fighting
Toucan.
game. Yeah. Josie should totally have a summonable toucan. If Leroy gets a summonable bulldog and Kasumi gets a summonable tiger, Josie should have a summonable toucan. Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't know about Leroy, but I know that in Kazumi's kit, the tiger feels out of place and like a gimmick because it is.
Yeah. It's pretty well the only thing that makes her unique.
I mean, I honestly would have liked just like a mix of stuff that reminds you of Akuma and like Jinpachi.
Ooh, I don't think they could out and out have like much Akuma moves for her, because there would be the question of like copyright there. Because Akuma probably won't come back for Tekken 8. Kasumi probably will.
I don't know because like Kazumi already has a Shoryuken, just a straight up Shoryuken.
Yeah, but the tiger does the Shoryuken with her, which I think kind of differentiates it enough. But if she started throwing out Hadokens, then yeah, I think we'd have problems. Or
yeah,
Tatsus.
then there would be problems.
Alright, so I guess we'll talk about that on not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that.
Yeah.
It occurs to me now that I have not actually said what's coming out on the channel this week.
All right.
So, alright, in order, over the next week, we have the forest, 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 and the forest.
Hold up. Didn't we have the forest releasing this week?
You know, I'm gonna have to check again. Hang on. Okay, so this coming week, every day, we have the forest, the forest, the forest, the forest, the forest, the forest, and the forest.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Wait, I think I missed the last one.
It was the forest.
And the one before that?
Also the forest.
I'm confused.
Don't worry, we all are. That's part of life. Ask St. Peter when you get to the pearly gates. He might put the question forward. Who knows?
We won't be able to ask him. He's gonna shoo us away, remember?
That is true.
It won't be him.
That
It
is
will be Jesus, actually. But yeah.
I just like the idea of asking God, God, why did I upload 7 straight days of the forest?
Yeah. Go away. You play too much Sonic Adventure 2. That's the answer.
Welcome to hell, where we do nothing all day except play Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Oh no. Why are they all Rouge levels?
Oh no. But it's the PC version. It has like freaking it has nude mods on.
Oh crap. Well, that would improve it for some people. That wouldn't be hell.
True.
If you're a furry, Rouge just gets changed out for, like, I don't know, Big Smoke from Grand Theft Auto Centric.
If you're a I think I might have a funnier freaking picture.
Fucking Big Smoke flying in the same way Knuckles and Rouge do. It's just killing me in my mind.
I don't know. I kind of like the picture I've conjured up of a photorealistic Hillary Clinton model that doesn't animate.
If you play as Hillary, you're not digging for the Chaos Emerald. You're digging for like emails or something. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I wasn't trying to make anything political. I'm just
You brought up Hillary Clinton. What'd you fucking expect?
True.
She's literally a politician.
Yeah. It's just when I think of old wrinkly white women, Hillary Clinton is the first one that comes to mind.
Well, you could go with Betty White, but that'd be too awesome. Betty White Adventure 2.
I could say Paula Dean, but Paula Dean would probably do crimes in the game.
Why does Paula Dean hate Shadow so much? Oh, shit.
Bloody hell. Paula Dean Adventure.
Paula Dean Adventure 2. 2. Implying there's a first one.
No. Think about it. Paula Dean Adventure 2 would be better because instead of Rouge we get Paula Dean, and instead of Shadow we get Snoop Dogg.
That's not no, that's Martha Stewart that does a lot of stuff with Snoop Dogg.
Oh, right. I mixed the two of them up because they're both just old white women.
The good side is Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg. The bad side is Paula Dean and I don't know who else. It's a trio, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the good side trio: Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg, Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri replaces Tails. He's driving the fucking Flavortown mech.
Yeah. he's trying Megas XLR.
Oh. I don't know who to put with Paula Dean.
Pink.
I don't know.
Dr. Oz, fuck it.
That's Eggman.
Dr. Oz in the Quackmobile.
Jerry Springfield.
Jerry Springfield? I mean, Jerry Springfield's a dick, but I don't know if I'd throw him in with Paula Dean and Dr. Oz. Wait, am I thinking of... No, I'm thinking of Jerry Seinfeld. Okay, Jerry Seinfeld replacing Shadow.
but he's in a bee costume.
He's fucking shooting robots in the face, and the Seinfeld theme is just playing in the background. Replacing the Crush 40 stuff. It's just the Seinfeld theme.
No. It's a Crush 40 cover of the Seinfeld theme.
A fucking Skater Rock cover of Seinfeld. That's got to be a thing, right? That's got to actually be a thing that you can look up on YouTube, right?
I'm searching.
We better hope.
Give me a sec. I'm looking up Skater Rock Seinfeld.
Sweet baby Jesus. What if it... Who does Shadow hate? Who's Shadow's enemy?
What do you mean?
Because what would be the villain? What is Shadow's nemesis other than Sonic or Eggman? Who can we replace with Newman?
But I mean, most recently, what was his name? The guy from Forces. Him.
Sure. Oh god. Sometimes our brains collectively stop working for like a space of 5 minutes and just stuff happens. We have a 3-man brain aneurysm and we just come up with Sonic Adventure 2, but everyone's been replaced by weird celebrities.
Okay, no. From what I can find, no one has made specifically a skate park rock cover of Seinfeld. I'm gonna look up just the metal cover, and we'll see what comes up.
Hang on. Okay, so if Snoop Dogg replaces Sonic, then he'll be the one with guns, won't he?
Yeah. Limp Bizkit, Break Stuff, Seinfeld remix. I don't think that's the thing I'm looking for, but
That'll work. That'll work. Oh shit. Okay, so. Oh boy, yeah, this is what happens when you release. Oh hey, a lisp suddenly appeared. So this is what happens when we release nothing but the forest.
yeah, that I found an actual metal cover. It's not skateboard rock, but
I think we got brain leeches from the dirty water we drank in the forest.
this
Now,
breaks
whose fault
stuff.
was that?
All right, Pink.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait until after the recording to listen.
Oh no.
I wait eagerly for the reactions. Addy, how did you see today going?
Oh my god, this is incredible.
There also is an actual like competent freaking metal guitar cover.
The anticipation is killing me.
Uh,
Oh boy.
what was the question? 'Cause I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy paying attention to freaking
I don't even remember, man. Don't fucking ask me.
Freddie Seinfeld.
Oh god.
I love it all.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so we Shadow Beach and Springfield then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Am I the only one here who knows who Jerry Springfield is?
Yeah, well, I know who Jerry Springfield is, I think. He's the guy who has the show where he comes on and does the whole you are the father routine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Springer, not Springfield.
Well, look at Mr. White Trash over here.
I'm sorry. When you say Springfield, I think Rick. So I had to correct that.
You can't.
I don't want to sully his name.
You can't insult the legacy of Rick Springfield, Daddy.
No, not at all.
Nor Simpsons.
Definitely not.
Oh man, what is there left to talk about? Oh, I guess I did things this week. So, God of War 3. It's the best out of the Greek God of War games, definitely. I played Ghost of Sparta for a little bit. Ghost of Sparta is kind of a step backwards. It came after God of War 3, but it still kind of goes back to God of War 2. It is not a game that grabs you very quickly. I'll say that. The idea of going into Atlantis and fighting mermen was cool, but I was not inspired to stick around. God of War Ascension is a very oddball game. I do not remember God of War Ascension even releasing. Do you guys?
I've never heard of God of War Ascension until right now, this very second.
I think I might have heard of it, but I don't remember it releasing, no.
God of War Ascension, I thought it was a portable game. It was not. It was a PS3 God of War game, full AAA PS3 God of War game, released in 2013. But it's not numbered, and it's very clearly lower budget than the, Greek trilogy. It's definitely a lot lower budget than God of War 3, because God of War 3 was gorgeous in God of War Ascension. Despite being built off the same engine and probably retaining a lot of the same models and lighting, God of War Ascension does not look nearly as good as God of War 3 did. And God of War Ascension is very weird because you can tell they're starting to think, okay, we need to change things up. This is not exactly working. This is fine when we can just have spectacle to keep people strung along, but the precise gameplay mechanics are not as good as the competitors, right? Our distinguished competition, right?
Right.
Because when Bayonetta arrived on the scene, Platinum's announcement into the kind of character action hack and slash genre was very pronounced. And so I guess the God of War guys were like, shit, I guess that means we need to step up. And God of War Ascension changes things in a really weird way. So, Kratos, it has a system where enemies will appear with weapons that they carry, and Kratos can disarm them and pick up the weapons and just use the weapons like they were regular weapons. And it feels very weird because it's the kind of mechanic you would expect from Grand Theft Auto, not God of War. You don't expect to just be like, oh, hey, that's my sword now. From some random asshole like Fawn who's just packing a sword.
Right.
And if you've played the other 5 Greek God of War games, it's always a big deal when Kratos picks up a new weapon. Because it's always something big like, oh, it's the Spear of Destiny. It's the head of Medusa. It's the blade of Olympus. And here Kratos just is like, sword. It's not a special sword. It's just a sword. And so there gets to be kind of a thing of, I only played the tutorial and I was not enthused, so I, deleted it. But, like, it definitely already gets to be a thing of like, oh, they probably went for quantity over quality here, because I picked up this sword, and this sword's kind of poopy. And later on, a dude drops a javelin, and the javelin's also kind of poopy, because Kratos just hucks it, and he has a limited supply of them for some reason. He only gets 10, which, like, why? There's a whole host of weird things. Another one is, one of the series trademarks for God of War is the ability to grapple. Kratos is a big, strong, manly man. He picks people up and he throws them around like rag dolls. And they changed it in Ascension so that he hucks a chain at them and embeds one of his blades of chaos into them. And there's like a whole host of systems off of that where you can just drag them around. Like, you know how in Just Cause you could latch onto people with the grapple gun, right?
Yeah.
And just drag an asshole around with one blade of chaos. And you can smack him with the other blade of chaos while he's there. You can throw him into other guys, bring him in close for a grapple attack. It's actually a very interesting idea, and I wish it was in a better God of War game. The plot just also isn't very interesting. Because God of War Ascension is like, let's go back to the very beginning. Pretty well immediately after Kratos murders his wife and daughter, and says, Ares, I won't serve you anymore. Well, there's a problem with people who desert in Greek mythology. Pink, I'm sure you know the problem for deserters in Greek mythology.
A little bit.
The Furies. So the whole game is pretty well Kratos being like, ah shit, I need to kill the Furies because otherwise they're going to kill me for being a deserter. This is a problem that I have with both Ascension and Chains of Olympus. In God of War 1, it is a big thing that Kratos needs to kill Ares. And, like, you are spending the entire game trying to figure out a way that Kratos can gain the strength necessary to kill a god. And it is like a big moment when Kratos finally gets that ability, by opening Pandora's box, of all things. And it really demeans it that there are 2 prequels, Ascension and Chains of Olympus, during which Kratos kills one god, and all 3 of the Furies. And, like, aren't the Furies supposed to be scary enough in Greek mythology that even the gods are scared of them?
Yeah.
Doesn't that make Kratos look a bit too strong? That he is so far as he is aware, he is just a mortal and he has killed all 3 Furies? It's a transitionary title. It also has got the weirdest fucking thing in the world. Multiplayer. Versus multiplayer in God of War.
Alright.
I didn't try it. I want to look up footage. I can't see how that could possibly work. Like there's a... Like, even co-op in Devil May Cry barely works, right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine versus in Devil May Cry? This should be broken. Oh, boy. So, yeah.
I imagine next week you'll find another God of War title that doesn't actually exist, and then it's like, Kratos has a gun.
Dude, you didn't...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure God of War 1 has concept art for the planned far future sequel, where Kratos is still the God of War in present day, and he's like in Iraq or Afghanistan dual-wielding assault rifles or something, or miniguns.
Oh. I see.
So that was an idea at one point.
But, like, you find this random God of War game, and oh, Kratos has a gun. Oh, there's a floating like eye monster that's like Shimagora is following him around, telling him about not killing the people or whatever, or killing the people. Wait, are those moral choices? Wait, this is Shadow the Hedgehog.
I thought you were describing Ninja Gaiden 3. Oh, shit. Oh, boy. So, yeah, to get back to God of War 3, God of War 3 is really good. It's the point where you can tell they really refined down what they thought was God of War, you know? Which still means there's some imperfections if what you're going in expecting is Devil May Cry, but if you're going in expecting God of War, then you're going to be very happy with God of War 3. It's got new craziness, but it's still God of War. Like I said, there's air dashing and shit, which is nuts. And there's 4 different weapons, all of which are actually good, unlike past God of Wars. And the boss fights, oh boy. So, God of War always had the thing of like, the spectacle is what made God of War, you know?
Yeah.
And God of War 3 has plenty of spectacle. And I want to note, in God of War 1, Kratos kills one god. In God of War 2, Kratos kills one god. God of War 3, Kratos kills 7 gods. That's a lot. Yeah. The story is, you can tell this is kind of the point where they started to really turn around and try to get to the point where of outright saying, like, look, guys, Kratos is, no matter how cool Kratos is a bad person. God of War 1 outright said it. God of War 2 went too subtle. Like, God of War 2, the biggest moment of saying Kratos is evil is something that the overwhelming majority of people are going to miss. Because I was like, oh man, God of War's got a good soundtrack. I want to throw some God of War songs in my playlist. And one of the videos I found, because none of the songs are on Spotify, by the way, only the God of War 4 soundtrack's on Spotify, so I had to go with YouTube. And one of the videos was the Colossus boss fight theme from God of War 2. The signature boss fight from God of War 2, where you fight the Colossus of Rhodes, that's been animated and is now alive. And the lyrics are all in Greek, but the listed translation of the lyrics is, the lyrics are actually the people of Rhodes begging the Colossus to save them from the monster that is Kratos. So, yeah, I don't think a lot of people are going to pick up on that. You know, I don't know how many, you know, regular, everyday sort of Americans know ancient Greek. I mean, you guys are both fluent in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys would get it, but I mean, we're a bunch of high IQ folks, such as ourselves.
I know all of the Greek words that I need, like Malaka.
Yeah! I know, the food that's like a taco, the gyro. The gyro!
Yeah, I love gyros.
Gyros!
Gyro.
You know,
Gyros are the best.
It's Hero.
That's the joke! That's the joke!
Got started, Eddie. Where'd your IQ go?
God damn it, the person who lives right next to Greece, fucking knowing Greek pronunciations.
I know all of the great Greek foods like thermopula.
Yeah. How do? Oh shit. I just remember one of the secret endings of God of War 1 was in the far future a military copter flying over a desert in Greece, which of course does not exist, by the way, and finding the giant corpse of Kronos. And of course, the first question is, how the fuck did nobody find that sooner? The second question is, just how absurd that is to try and throw that into a modern setting, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, God of War 3. For one thing, I want to say, the God of War series has a really strong trend that I think is really smart of them. Every game starts with a boss fight. That, I think, is really smart. God of War 1 does it with the Hydra. God of War 2 does it with the Colossus. God of War 3 does it with Poseidon. God of War 4 does it with Baldur. That, I think, is a really smart trend because, first of all, start as you intend to go on, right?
Yeah.
And God of War is a game about killing big things, you know? And, well, God of War 4 is a bit more about showdowns between crazy, overpowered gods. And, oh boy, is the Kratos versus Baldur fight. Is there any boss fight that is more spectacular than Kratos versus Baldur at the very beginning of God of War 4, Addy?
Maybe something about something from Ashura's Wrath.
Maybe something from Asura's Wrath, or maybe, like, the final boss fight of Bayonetta, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that.
It's
the Ashura versus the Kuma fight, either Ryu and the Kuma fight.
ooh. What I know Asura's Wrath is never going to get any sequels, but man, could you imagine if like God of War 5 is like, alright, no, God of War 7, Kratos goes to India, it's time for Kratos versus Asura. And the world just fucking breaks.
Yeah.
Anyways, so God of War 3.
Yeah.
God of War 3, for one thing, Kratos just kills a lot of people in this. Like, wow. That's a lot of people dead. Like, for every god Kratos kills, things just get worse. Like, spoilers for a game that is now 10 years old. The game starts with killing Poseidon. Oh, whoops, the Aegean Sea just flooded over pretty much all of Greece. Kratos kills Hades. Oh, whoops, all the souls in Hades all the dead in Hades have been let loose onto the mortal world. Kratos kills Hermes. Plagues of locusts for some reason?
That's what happens when people can't get the mail?
Yeah, I guess.
Plagues of locusts are what happen when people become slow.
Yeah. Kratos kills Helios, which confused me. The game, by the way, is not exactly too faithful with its Greek adaptation of the Greek mythology. It's mostly pretty good, but there's some fuck-ups. Helios, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Helios is a Titan, right?
I don't think so. I believe he is... Well, he might be, but he's the god of the sun, if I recall correctly.
Is he one of the Titans who actually still got along with the Olympians after the Titanomachy, though?
He might be.
Because the game pretty well just treats him as an Olympian. All the other Titans are these massive, colossal beings. And Helios just is just human-sized and dresses like all the Olympians do. And yet, surprise, surprise, Kratos kills Helios. Oh, there goes the sun. Goodbye. Oh, boy. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. Like, legitimately, the final boss fight is fighting Zeus from Mount Olympus looking down at Greece. And Greece is just fucked. The sun is gone. There are locusts everywhere. All the plant life is dead because, oh yeah, Kratos also killed Hera. Whoops. Most of Greece is flooded. The dead are just running around tormenting the living. Locusts everywhere. And it's like, well, Kratos. Like, I want to note, there is one thing in this game that absolutely cracks me up. There is a sequence in the final boss fight where Kratos has kind of like a dream, where he goes on an internal kind of vision quest. And he gets a vision of when he murdered his own wife and daughter. He gets a vision of when he accidentally murdered Athena. And it's supposed to be like, oh, these are the horrible things that plague Kratos' mind. And then a ghost of like Pandora appears and is like, yo, you should be a better person, Kratos. And Kratos legitimately just falls into a sea of visions of the people he's killed. A sea of all the blood that he has shed over the years. And it's like... That is actually the moment you can tell where it's supposed to be the definitive thing of Kratos being like, boy, I always thought I was a piece of shit for killing my wife and daughter, but actually goes a bit farther than that, doesn't it? I may be in a bit deep here, boys. I got a good kick out of that. God of War 3 ends in a very weird way, I want to say. It ends in a kind of way of like, well, Kratos did something at least for the Greeks in the very end. But there's still a lot of forced justification of like, well, the Olympians weren't Zeus kind of deserved it because when Kratos opened Pandora's box, that for some reason let the seven sins out onto Greece, and Zeus absorbed the sin of fear, which is like, what?
Yes, the great sin of being afraid.
Like I said, there's a lot of weird shit of this game. It's Greek mythology, but it's very clearly viewed through the lens of a Judeo-Christian perception of religion, right? There's also the whole thing of like, yeah, like, the game is trying to add justification for killing Zeus after the fact, but that doesn't change that Kratos also killed Hades, Poseidon, Helios, Hermes, Hera, Hephaestus. Boy, there's a lot of H's in Greek mythology. And I thought on it, Kratos has probably got to have the biggest kinslaying record in all of fiction. He kills his father, his mother, his grandfather, 2 uncles, at least 6 siblings, a cousin, a nephew, possibly 2 nephews. Like, is that not the craziest record you've ever heard for a fictional character killing their own family members?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Christ. But hey, it is what it is. God of War is a fine series to go through. I will say it is inferior to Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. And you have to go in with the lens of either saying, like, this game's story is bullshit and I disagree with everything it stands for, or interpreting it as they are trying to represent Spartan morality in Kratos. But if you try to go through looking at Kratos as a hero through a modern Western thought kind of perspective on morality, you are either going to be disappointed, or if you do actually still think Kratos is a hero by modern standards of morality, then you do not understand modern standards of morality. And of course, like, it's wild because now we're changing into God of War 4, where Kratos now suddenly fits a lot better into modern standards of morality. That's kind of part of the big question with Kratos then is, like, now do you retroactively look at, like, how much does it retroactively change the way you look at the Greek series, right?
Right.
Especially knowing that Kratos had this potential within him. Because Kratos has had 1,000 years to change and grow as a person, so him growing a lot between God of War 3 and 4 is not a huge surprise. But it is still really funny going from God of War 4 Kratos, who is very quiet and very grumpy, but he is old and also knows better by now, boy. Versus, God of War 3 Kratos is Zeus! And Kratos' voice actor, by the way, is the fucking funniest in God of War 3, because he is losing it the entire time. And so it's just Kratos isn't always talking, he's not the chattiest protagonist, but when he does talk, it's just, Zeus! Your son has come with your end! And it's like, Jesus, he is hamming it up super hard. Alright. 2 other things I did this week. I ain't got much to talk about them. First thing is, funny that Addy mentioned Asura's Wrath. It's on PlayStation Now, and I felt like I should give it a shot. Addy soon described it to me as Hindu God of War, so obviously that was an interesting concept to begin with. And I immediately realized that was not an actually very good description of it, because the game starts with fucking Asura sitting on a spaceship in orbit of Earth. And I was like, okay, well.
So, he has a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's apparently built off of references to Hindu mythology. Well, Hinduism. Much in the same way that, like, Shin Megami Tensei is based off of Christianity, but it's not actually like a retelling of the Bible, you know?
Yeah.
God is there, but he's not behaving like he should, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I say Shin Megami Tensei is based upon references from everything.
Oh, yeah, totally. But
theology. But Christianity is the focal point, yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where it changes from game to game, because for the main core games, like, Christianity is definitely the core, but, like, Digital Devil Saga, it's Hinduism today. And for the Persona games, it changes every game. Persona 3, Greek mythology. Persona 4, Shintoism. Persona 5, kind of Christianity, but also kind of Gnosticism. So, there's a lot of that going around in that series.
Yeah.
Is it pronounced Gnosticism or Gnosticism? I hope it's Gnosticism, but Gnosticism would be funnier.
It's Gnosticism.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
My favorite religion is Skeletorism. Anyways.
Skelism.
So I once heard Asura's Wrath described as a movie that you also press buttons during. Boy, that's super accurate.
I figured.
And sometimes there's gameplay moments, and you're like, oh boy, go back to the cutscenes. Because, hey, this game was worked on by CyberConnect.
Who?
Yeah, I know. You don't. The people who make Naruto.
It's Naruto, but poopier.
Mm-hmm.
There's less moveset variety than there is in Naruto so far. Which is that's a damning phrase if there ever was one, right?
I mean, when did Ashura's Wrath come out?
2012.
I think that might be like after the first Storm game, or maybe even before it. I don't remember. I wanna check. But yeah, so basically the clips of Ashura's Wrath that I've seen, it just looks like the Storm cutscene QTEs, and that's the game.
Yes, yes, that is the game. Correct. My understanding is the story picks up, so if it's a movie game, then I'm fine if the story is good, and they say the story is supposed to get better later.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
So the first Ninja Storm game definitely came out before Ashura's Wrath because it was 2008. That's a while ago. Holy shit. All right, I'm gonna check which games this came out between then. But yeah, continue.
So the visuals are great. It's a very interesting visual style. There is a reason why every time you play as Kage in Street Fighter V, you must pick the Asura costume. Because Asura looks badass.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that rolling around with the characters that are supposed to be gods. I will say, for soon to describe it as Hindu god of war, Asura does have a better justification for making a war on heaven than Kratos did. Kratos is, I killed my wife and daughter, but I blame Ares. Whereas Asura, at least, it's, holy shit, the gods actually did kill my wife. And me. And in the 12,000 years it took for me to escape the underworld, they somehow turned the earth into a wasteland? I haven't gotten too far into the game, so I don't know the full details of the story here. It is...
Go ahead.
I don't think I had anything in particular to say. If you could say something while I piece together my thoughts, that would be fantastic.
Alright, so yeah, I did do my research. So Ashura's Wrath came out between the Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 and 3. And I believe 3 was the first game to feature the cutscene QTEs. So, because
we know where they got the idea from.
Yeah, we know where they got the tech from.
Yeah.
But yeah, because in the old PS2 Ninja Storm games, those had QTEs in the cutscenes, I guess, the super cutscenes, but those were just like a set of buttons that you needed to press to then make it stronger or weaker. And starting with Ninja Storm 3, this got removed after Ninja Storm 1 by Ultimate Ninja Storm 1. And then in Ninja Storm 3, they introduced the cutscene QTEs that actually corresponded with the things that were on the screen. Because, funnily enough, if you pay attention to the controls and if you pay attention to what's going on in the cutscenes, the buttons you need to press actually make sense from a gameplay perspective in those games.
That's nice. God of War just goes with RNG QTEs, which is unpleasant.
And yeah, that's all I could save time for.
Yeah. All right.
Hopefully you piece together your thoughts.
I do want to say so far, I think it is a bit disappointing that it's kind of like references to Hinduism and a general Hindu aesthetic, but without actually being about Hinduism. I get that, like, obviously Hinduism is still a very popular religion, so you can only go so far, right, without seriously insulting a lot of people, especially in a game that's probably going to be about you killing a lot of those gods. But it's still one of those things where, like I don't know. I feel like people learn more through media than they ever do through school, you know?
Yeah.
And
And I mean, like who knows how much you could learn about Hinduism by killing Bakasura.
yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, they actually could have done some interesting things with how the
Yeah,
how he's a big mouth, basically.
Yeah, man, well, that is a thing. Like, you don't have to kill the gods. Just make a game about killing demons. Like, nobody ups and complains when Devil May Cry is like, hey, let's go kill Belial, you know? Like, you guys are both Christian. Are you particularly offended by a game about hunting down and killing Baal?
I mean, that I was Christian. I don't know what I am anymore.
All right, Pink, it's your time.
It's my time to shine. No, I don't care what people do.
All right. So instead of killing Hindu gods, just kill like the Rakshasas and the Asuras, I think they're called.
Shit. There's the part in Darksiders 2 where you kill the angels. And I played that game when I was still Christian, like fully. And I was like, cool, because even the Bible is like, some angels aren't good. That's why they're not angels anymore. But still,
Lucifer was an angel.
Yeah, once upon a time. So angels are a fair thing to kill if you present them as freaking corrupted. At least, I guess.
Also, Christianity isn't the only system of belief that believes in angels, right? Aren't angels kind of like a broad thing in a lot of? I mean, obviously the Valkyrie, but like also like weren't they in like I want to say like Babylonian mythology or Egyptian or Persian?
I don't believe they were in Egyptian, but I don't know enough about
Horus
Persian
is pretty close.
Yeah, Horus is pretty close, but he's just one guy.
Right. Horus is very complicated.
Well, I know that like I want to see the God of War Norse trilogy finish, but I gotta say, seeing them take a shot at a non-European mythology sounds really fascinating.
I mean, the thing with them taking on Egyptian myth potentially, to me, that's less about actually how they represent the Egyptian gods and stuff like that, and more about how will they represent all 3,000 gods.
I mean, there's definitely gonna be killing a lot of minor gods there.
Yeah, but like honestly, I think I would enjoy God of War more if they start doing this in 4, I believe, where even if it's like a small minor mythological creature that you kill, then you still get like a small thing about, oh well, this is where this came from.
Yeah, God of War, the Greek trilogy didn't do that, and they really should have. I think they would have avoided doing that just because they didn't want to touch on the things that they intentionally got wrong.
Oh yeah,
like Helios rolling with the Olympians.
But yeah, about that actually bothers me about games made around that era, like PlayStation exclusive games specifically for some reason, because both in God of War and in Uncharted, I feel like there's I feel like there's not enough information given about the world to actually give a shit about the collectibles, because in God of War it's always just feathers. Like I think it's Phoenix feathers or something like that, but it's just feathers. And in Uncharted, that you have like 100 collectibles in the whole game. They didn't give enough of a shit to write like a line about any of them, but there's 100 collectibles.
Yeah, I mean, you also got to keep in mind, in that regard, we are spoiled by Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
It's like every Assassin's Creed game has this massive compendium joined to it. Like, oh, you remember that dude you stabbed? Oh yeah, he was pretty important to Florence back in the day.
Yeah, that is true. I wish that the database was still a thing instead of the miracle tours or whatever they call it. Discovery tours, miracle tours.
Miracle tours, yeah, baby.
But yeah, like they are planning on bringing back the modern day characters, or at least Rebecca. So I've got to assume that maybe Sean is also back, and then with him the database.
Did they?
Because the thing about
When did they stop doing it?
Origins.
Of course they did. Okay, the game that changed everything. Of course.
But yeah, Origins had no Rebecca or Sean whatsoever, and that was a bad move. Like a lot of the modern day story of Assassin's Creed can be just thrown into the trash because either it has no potential or they squandered it already and they can't really salvage it.
And
Rebecca
Desmond and
and Sean,
Lucy are both dead, and they are not coming back.
yeah, Rebecca and Sean are the two big things about modern day that makes me say, oh well, modern day has a place because it ties everything together and it gives me Sean Hastings.
I don't want there to be an actual story here, but I want these two quirky real life people. I want these two quirky modern day people to just be here commentating on shit.
Yeah, because there actually is like some character development and stuff in the database. Like in Syndicate, there's a side mission that you can do as Jacob, I think, where you have to like protect this old woman who has a bag dog, and the bag dog's name is Desmond. And if you go to the dog's database, then instead of an actual like entry on the dog, it's just Rebecca writing in brackets. Hey, do you know what's up with Sean? He's been locked into the closet for like the past hour with a whiskey bottle and he's crying.
Oh,
So you know. Like I like those things. I like being able to just look through actual historical records. Like, sure, they weave their own narrative stuff into it, so to make sense in their universe. But like, you just take away any mentions of like being an assassin or like stuff that obviously only happened in the game, and then you read through the database and you have a better understanding of who that person was in history, or like what this place meant to that place. I guess so stuff like that. And then when they can come up with shit like that, you get further characterization for the modern day that barely existed in the games that mattered, I guess, in this generation. Because Unity and Syndicate, modern day was cutscenes, like 2 cutscenes per game, and then Origins and Odyssey, they tried to reboot the whole modern day. They actually made a whole new team of modern day people, but then the protagonist became unlikable. And then she killed her best friend, her second best friend. The first one was killed by Abstergo. and then the other two modern day characters, they're just gone. they appeared they appear on the start of Odyssey, I think, and then never again. Hell, one of them you don't even see. You just talk with him on a walkie-talkie.
well, good riddance then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I have suddenly been texted by my sister, where she has just texted me an image of the Iron Sheik's Twitter account that says a simple phrase. It's just Iron Sheik tweeting out, "Fuck the Nazi Germany!" And, yeah, that's Sheiky baby for you, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Hard to disagree with this point.
Oh, man. He just does his own thing at this point. We just kind of let him rock.
It's gonna be a dark day when he leaves us.
Oh, yeah. The wrestling world will be changed.
His tombstone will be the Miz like freaking foam letters. Say fucking bullshit.
Fucking bullshit. Oh, boy. And the last thing I did was Fargo Season 4 has recently started uploading their episodes to Hulu. I've watched the first 3 episodes. It's starting off very promisingly. It has not got the star-studded cast quite so much that the first 3 seasons did. Understandable, COVID's going on, so the opportunities are limited.
Right.
The big stars we've got are Chris Rock, Timothy Olyphant, Ben Whishaw, and I forget her name, but the chick who played the scientist in Chernobyl. And like none of those are really like, holy shit, kick in the fucking doors, I'm ready to watch anything with those guys, right?
I know Chris Rock.
I mean,
That's about it.
Chris Rock is famous, and Timothy Olyphant has a very vocal fan base. But none of those guys are really AAA stars, at least anymore in Rock's case, right?
Mhm.
And you can kind of on some level tell that Chris Rock is here because Chris Rock wants to prove he can actually be a dramatic actor, right?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
And credit where credit is due. He's carrying his load so far. He's not really had any scenes where he's like had to, really bust out the acting chops yet, but it's going to happen because he's pretty well the main character of the season. Every season of Fargo focuses on a different time period in the general vicinity of the state of Minnesota, and this time it's focusing on gang politics in 1950s era Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh no.
And
Kansas City sucks.
yeah, that's part of the idea. Yeah. So the season starts off with like 1910. I forget their name, but a Hebrew Jewish mob moves in to Kansas City and sets up an operation. 1915, the Irish immigrants show up. They make a deal saying, "Hey, we won't declare war on each other. And as a means of showing that we won't declare war on each other, we'll each take each other's youngest children hostage." Right?
Yeah, like New Gods.
Yeah. Legitimately, one of the first things I saw people comparing season 4 to was New Gods. Like, it's straight up the Orion for Mr. Miracle trait.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, turns out that was a bad idea because the Irish kid in the Jewish family, turns out he was spying on him for his Irish family. And
Oh no.
there goes the Irish mob. I mean, not the Irish, the Jewish mob. Then it cuts to like 1930, and the Italians arrive, and they make the same deal. But this time, the Irish kid betrays his own family for the Italians. And then it finally cuts to when a black mafia arrives in 1950, with Chris Rock being the head of the black mafia family in this case. And so, as you can imagine, a big point of the whole season is 1950s WASP America was not too keen on African Americans, Italian Americans, Jewish Americans, Polish Americans, Irish Americans.
Anything not 100% American.
WASP.
Like that exists.
Yeah, specific. Like, one of the very first things that happens is a certain important character gets wounded, who I will not spoil, and the character is Italian, and his family takes him to the hospital, and the character is honest to God bleeding out on the hospital floor, and the owner of the hospital comes in and says, "We don't serve your kind here, go down to the community hospital." And they're like, "Fucking what? That's 20 minutes away, he's dying right now!"
Pink said that people disliked everyone who wasn't 100% American, but I don't know, dude.
They hated the people who are 100% American.
Yeah, the Native Americans got it first.
Oh no.
And then, of course, the third episode of the season is like, oh, also here's a Mormon guy. And when the character gets brought on and is being real dickish, another character points out, in Missouri in 1950, it was still technically on the legal books that it was perfectly legal to shoot a Mormon for no reason. No reason needed. You see a Mormon, you shoot them.
That's terrible, but oh my goodness.
Oh boy, that was an interesting time, it was.
That's an interesting law. It's almost as like it's almost as unfitting as the suspicious handling of salmon.
Ooh.
I think that's Britain, but I forget.
Oh man, so yeah, that's a fair focus of the season, but there's also a lot of Godfather-esque mob politics, right? Because the African American mafia that has moved in very obviously wants to be the big ones, right? The ones in charge of the whole of Kansas City. But the Italian American mafia is not going to just hand that over on a silver platter. And of course, with every mafia politics film or TV show, there needs to be one person in one of the mafias that's a mess up, right? A guy that is too big for his britches or something like that. So, hey, guess what? The Italian brother comes over to join up with his family in America. He comes over and he's like, over in Italy during the war, I killed communists for Il Duce, for Mussolini. And then the war turned, and I killed Mussolini for American dollars. You gotta follow the money, man. And I say, we kill everybody. And of course, the entirety of the Italian-American mafia is like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And it's interesting to have the spanner in the works be a psychopath instead of an idiot like it usually is. But I will say, oh boy, the actor playing the Italian brother is hamming it up super hard. Everyone else is acting in, traditional style, subtlety, right? And the Italian brother, he's more is more kind of acting. He is yucking it up so hard. He is giving the crazy eyes. He is giving the Nicolas Cage eyes in every scene. You know the Nicolas Cage eyes. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going ham with it. And this is going to sound like the stupidest statement, but you don't notice him doing this in the first episode because of how much his hat calls attention to itself. The man needs the hat to tone down his acting.
It has that has its own like gravitational pull. It has like two large freaking pimp head feathers, a cat, and Mussolini's body hanging from it.
You joke, but one of the character's actual traits is that he always has a canister full of Mussolini's teeth on his person at all times.
Oh. I see.
It's that kind of character. You know who. So, he is funny in the unintended sense, because everyone else is doing a really good job with acting. And then he just, he might as well kick in the fucking door on every scene he arrives, right? It's very funny to watch him. It is definitely going a strong path of crime, thriller, intrigue kind of stuff going on. There's not much I can say about that because we're only 3 episodes into a 10-episode season, and it's coming out once a week, so I'm going to go ahead and say I'm probably going to go several weeks where I don't talk about Fargo at all, but I assure you I am watching it. I am happy with the way it's going so far. There is definitely a bit of weirdness going on already. There is a very sudden bout of toilet humor that I was utterly confounded by. There's actually a recurring trend of it. I've just now realized. There's a character there's a toilet humor in the first episode and toilet humor in the third episode. And so far, Fargo has not been big on toilet humor. And knowing the Coen brothers, this kind of thing is not an accident. So now the thought has just occurred to me, oh god, is that going to be one of the themes of this season, is farting?
Could be.
I mean, you have to remember that. I don't even remember who said the freaking the lyrics, but there's this rap group where one of the lyrics is something unintelligible and then piston and a farting. If you don't keep a lookout, you end up on a milk carton.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. All
so
right.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't think of anything in particular that I would like to say, other than, like I said, going through Fargo, going through Assassin's Creed 2, probably not going to try and talk about them on the podcast until I've wrapped either of them up, you know?
All right. Well, by the way...
Yes, I should probably go ahead and warn Pink, we should talk about Assassin's Creed 2 last on that given podcast, because then we can just tell Pink, okay, Pink, you're okay to leave. You will not be saying anything for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, I just wanted to note I sort of Assassin's Creed 2 again, just to check out the fighting mechanic, to give you a couple of pointers if I figure something out. It seems like Ezio might be a combat character.
Yeah, grappling, if you want to go on the offensive, you have to grapple.
Yeah.
Throwing sand is trash in that game.
Throwing sand is trash anyway.
I feel like I remember it coming out quicker in Brotherhood, but in Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio just, like, picks up a handful of sand, and he has to delicately hold it to his chest for a second to let him know how dear it is to him before he throws it into his opponent's eyes.
He's imagining it to be a sonic boom. He has to charge it.
Yeah. Fucking... I was about to joke about the absurdity of Ezio as a fighting game character, and I was like, oh, he's already been a fighting game character. Damn it.
Yeah.
Now we just need to make more games.
Yes, the next Ezio would actually work pretty well in Tekken.
Yeah. And it would make sense because it was an Namco game that he was in anyway, so...
Yeah. I mean, that would be the way to teach Devil Kazuya and Devil Jin players not to throw out the laser so much. Just dodge and crossbow.
Yeah. Just stab him.
Oh, man. Oh, one thing I was pleasantly surprised by that I want to note before we leave is, even back in Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio could kill people with a broom.
Yes!
I thought that was just a Brotherhood thing as a joke, but no, he could do it back then, too.
Yeah, that's just an Ezio thing to do. I think he may be able to do it in Revelations still.
Huh? Do they ever, like, acknowledge it, or is it just a joke in every game Ezio can kill people with a broom?
No, it's just a thing that's supposed to show how he's resourceful. I think.
My part is that he doesn't knock them out. He kills them. There's a specific animation for enemies who are knocked out instead of killed that you get for if you beat people with your bare hands. Ezio doesn't knock them out with a broom. He fucking kills them. I remember in Brotherhood, he had a unique animation where he'd, like, impale them on the broom or something.
I think that was just the spear animation reused, but yeah.
I know, but, like, how? Explain.
Strong Italian arms.
And that's what Ezio's got to fuel up on the pasta pizza so he can impale people on the broom.
Yeah, but Ezio puts the pizza on his cock. That's when he can impale people with the broom.
Yeah, it gives him power. Anyhow, Addy, say bye. Because I believe... Oh, well, there we go. I didn't even get to say I believe we could call this a podcast. You're cutting off my catchphrases, fucker! Anyhow, it's the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode 147.